This is an Oreo Speedwagon production. Living in this van like we do, it affords us the ability to go a lot of places and to see a lot of things. There are a lot of destinations that we have been to. We've been a lot of places so far. We really have. But, for the most part, we've stayed in the Oklahoma, Texas area. It's where all our family is and all that. And that's where we've been. There are a lot of places in this country that we want to go. And for different reasons, we haven't gone there. Money's a big thing. Because this is a huge country. And it's a long ways between most destinations. So Rachel and I sat down and made up a list. We made up our bucket list of destinations, places that we've never been, or only one of us has been, but the other one wants to go to. So, without further ado, without more waiting, with less sitting here time, Yosemite. I have been fascinated with Yosemite for so long. There's so many iconic pictures from there. There's the Ansel Adams picture. I'll try to put that up on here. It's just, the valley. There's a valley there in Yosemite that you can see. I think you can see Half Dome. You can see Angel Falls. I think it's iconic and it's magnificent. And it's somewhere that I have never been, and I really, really want to go there. One of the things, though, stopping us from going to places like that, especially Yosemite or some other places that are going to be on this list, are crowds.
My first one would be Alaska. Just the wildlife in general and the mountains. That would be one of the places I would love to go. I've heard it's just amazing. I've heard those Alaskan cruises and stuff are really, really nice too.
Glacier National Park in Montana. I've been near it when I lived in northern Idaho, but I just never had the opportunity to go. From the pictures I've seen and videos I've seen, I don't think there are words to describe how gorgeous it is. We count ourselves very lucky to live in this country where we have all these, just, without overusing this term, majestic places. Glacier is another one of those that we're not going to go in the wintertime. We're just not going to. Can we stay warm? Absolutely. But it just wouldn't even be fun to be up there in the wintertime, because it's northern Montana. It's cold. It's all the low degrees. It's a lot of cold. But Glacier is definitely on my list.
My second choice would probably be British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. We have some friends in Canada off YouTube, and wouldn't mind meeting some of those people and different places to eat and shop and stuff like that. So, also the wildlife there, I've heard, is amazing. But I'm into that.
Now, this one may surprise some people, because I talk about how much I love the mountains and how much I love trees and forests and wildness. But I've always had an affinity for Cape Cod. I really would love to go to Cape Cod at some point, and eat a lobster roll, and just that I don't know if you don't know what Cape Cod is. It's just like a sickle-shaped piece of land, and it's it's a peninsula, but it's kind of a strangely shaped peninsula. Yeah, that's one that really doesn't fit on this list like you would think it does. For me, I'm a huge mountains guy, and that's always going to be my go-to. But and Cape Cod is one of those that we could hit if we ever make it to New England. That'd be a two birds, one stone type situation.
My third choice on the list would be the redwoods in California. I've always wanted to see them. I've heard that they're amazing. They're big, huge trees that are just massive. And I wouldn't mind seeing that area of the country.
And this one, I don't know if it's the romantic in me. I don't know what it is. But New England in autumn. The leaves are changing on the trees. The air's cooler. There's just something about that area. The history there, the beauty, and then just the really vibrant colors of the leaves changing is something that I'm very interested in. I want to go stay in a bed and breakfast there. I really do. I'm a little bit of a nerd, let's be honest. I'm sure it's a shock to everybody.
The Grand Canyon. I've always wanted to go to the Grand Canyon. We almost went to the Grand Canyon, but we chose not to because it was the feeling that we had, and it was just not right timing, I guess. So that would be one of those places to actually go to as well.
Now, this last one really shouldn't shock anybody. It may not be something you've thought about a lot or something you know a lot about, but the entire Pacific Northwest in general it's drawn me for a long time. I lived in northern Idaho. I lived in southern Idaho as well. But I've been to Washington State for about 20 seconds, literally about 20 seconds. But that's one of those really, 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 really want to go to the Olympic National Park. And specifically there, the Hoh Rainforest. And I used to watch a guy on Discovery Channel or whatever. It was Mick Dodge, and he was a survivalist guy, and it was, probably made up stuff. I assume it was, but he lived in the Hoh Rainforest, and it just seemed magical to me. I love mountains, I love rain, I love fog, I love mist, I love forests, and that's a mixture of all of it. And I think that's why I'm so enamored of that place. Really, 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 really want to check that out sometime.
Very last on the list would be Yellowstone. I would love to see all the wildlife there. I don't really have that much to say about Yellowstone, but I would love to see everything that there is to see there. And yeah. So those are the places that I would like to go. Some of these, I don't know if they match up with Tommy's or not, but I know that we've had discussions about where we'd like to go, and I know Alaska is one of those top ones that he's talked about as well. So, yep. So those are my choices. If you agree with them, I mean, cool. But if you don't, I mean, everybody has their own bucket list, pretty much. I have a lot more, but I won't get into those. So.